now tuned in to the world's greatest. Tonight is the night. Bright lights, hype crowd. Yeah, we keep it thrown down. Everybody get loud. Tonight is the night. A-list, can't slowly burn it to the ground. Everybody get down. Tonight is the night. We stay blinded while our big cat rises. Steady climbing, now we on top. It's not something you get, it's just something we got. 'Cause I don't know if you know we playing or not. Tonight,
We are live with the Squared Circle on Spreaker.com, also on iTunes. What a week it's been, my friend. How you been?
Not too bad. Been taking it kind of lazy, kind of easy.
It's been that kind of week around here. It's been raining all day today.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, hopefully things will brighten up closer to Hell in a Cell. I mean,
That's a
hopefully-
bit ironic. Hopefully things will brighten up the closer we get to the giant metal torture device.
Absolutely. We're going to recap Monday Night Raw, NXT. I even have a SmackDown thing we got to get to today, man.
Oh my.
Yes, and then we're going to make our Hell in a Cell predictions.
All right.
Yeah, so we'll start out with Monday Night Raw. It starts out, you and I were talking last week about ways that they could make Raw just a little bit better
Yeah.
this week, and both of the top thing on our list came true. As soon as Monday Night Raw started, you heard that glass shatter.
Place exploded.
Oh my God, I was so happy.
Oh yeah. Now don't get me wrong. I mean I love Stone Cold, and I'm sitting there like, okay, how are they going to do this? The glass shattered. Okay, yeah, I got lost in a sea of marking out nostalgia, and it was cool that I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, all he really came out there to do is pretty much he might as well have just said, "Here's the Undertaker," and that would have been it. It was just that'll get those ratings to pop up for maybe a second. It's a Band-Aid. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a very welcome Band-Aid.
I did take a look at the Monday Night Raw ratings for this week.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a guess at what they were at?
No, I don't.
No, because
Lay the damage
guess-
on me. Lay it
yes,
on me.
It was at a 2.2, so down from the last couple weeks. Even with 3 Hall of Famers on the list, on the show, Raw still couldn't produce ratings for this week.
God, that's got to be some of the lowest ratings in more than a decade.
But I'll be honest, the content that was on Monday Night Raw this week was pretty good. It was a lot better than the last few weeks.
That's kind of damning with faint praise. That's not saying much.
It's the fact that they can't bring in people, even if they know, even if they're bringing in Hall of Famers.
Yeah, but
So Stone Cold Steve Austin introduces one of the people that's going to be in the Hell in a Cell match come Sunday.
Undertaker.
Oh, yes, that big gong went off and the whole place exploded, as normal. And then Undertaker does about a 60-second promo before we hear Brock Lesnar's music drop. And I thought we were going to see another fisticuffs beat the living crap out of each other, and the whole locker room empties into the ring.
No such luck.
Yeah, I kind of wish that would have happened because I'll be honest, I was at work when the first fight happened.
Yeah.
And I'm watching at work, and I'm kind of going, "Oh, I should be paying attention to work," but this is amazing.
Yeah. Oh man, I kind of think it's weird that they've kind of, in a way, they've at least on Monday Night Raw, they made like Undertaker face again. Like he's the face in this. You've taken everything. I've got nothing left to lose, and I'm just sitting here. You know what? I don't really care who's face and heel. Stop trying to necessarily establish it. We've got 2 giant monsters essentially about to kill each other.
Right.
That's enough. And if you're going to do the whole heel face thing, I'm sorry. The Undertaker's been the guy who's been hitting Lesnar in the twig and berries. So
Right. Now, did you watch the Stone Cold podcast after Monday Night
with
Raw?
Lesnar?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God! I got to be honest. The Stone Cold podcast is one of the greatest shows on the WWE network right now. It's, informative. It's, it's real life. They
It's
talk
funny.
about, it's
Have
fun.
you ever listened to his actual podcast?
I've not.
Oh, honestly, he gets some great guests, especially when they're allowed to go uncensored. Like he's had Jim Cornette, Mick Foley,
Okay.
Jake. I think he had Jake the Snake on there. I want to say he had Jake on there. I know he had DDP on there.
Okay.
He's even got hell. I want to say he's had someone from NXT on there. It might have been Joe,
Okay.
but I haven't listened in a couple weeks.
I'll have to check that out because I do enjoy Stone Cold. I do enjoy the Stone Cold podcast on the network.
Oh, yeah.
The interview he had with Brock Lesnar was
great.
fantastic. So, moving on, the New Day.
I can see the love in your eyes.
I'm mixed feelings about the New Day. Yes, they're a very good heel team. I will admit that. But
That's all I wanted.
That's all you wanted? We
That's
can,
all
we
I
can cut
wanted.
tape right now?
Yes.
We'll see you next week.
Yes.
No.
No.
But
anyway,
they would, they're a very good heel team, but it's just,
just doesn't do it for you.
it just doesn't do it for me. So they would go up against the United States champion John Cena and the Dudley Boys
Of course.
again. Didn't they have that last week too?
Yeah, I think they
didn't because John Cena was in an open challenge match with Big E,
Oh, that's
and then
right.
the Dudley Boys came down.
Right.
After, yeah,
That's why they set this match up this week.
absolutely. So
Which I'm okay with that because normally they get into that bad habit of we're going to promote a match by having that exact match, maybe minus a stipulation or adding a stipulation, like building to Rollins and Kane by having Rollins and Kane, but in a lumberjack match. I dug the fact that it's like, okay, New Day's got issues. They've started issues with Cena. They have issues with the Dudleys. They just throw them into that tag match, and it's just it allows the Dudleys to fight the New Day in a tag scenario, but it's not necessarily the two teams going at it.
right,
I like that.
and I'll be completely honest. I did enjoy this match.
Oh yeah,
it was a very
not
good
gonna
match.
lie, I freaking loved this match.
In lieu of the United States Open Challenge, which I was kind of shocked that there wasn't one on Monday Night Raw.
I think they want to hold off on it since they're going to be doing the one at Hell in a Cell. Maybe make it a little bit more special. And
Right.
ordinarily, I kind of agree with that. You got to make something seem important, make it a little more scarce. But
Right.
I don't know. I think the Open Challenge has been good enough and kind of special enough in its own right. They could have had one, but
Right.
this was still good.
John Cena has completely turned around the United States title.
Oh yeah.
It used to be a title where, oh look, it's the United States champion.
Yeah.
Now it's holy crap, it's John Cena, the champion.
Sweet.
It's the United States title. It's a big deal.
Yeah, and then they got the IC belt on Owens. A lot of people so they got both of the mid card belts. They're like rehabilitating. It's
Right.
great to see that.
Yeah, so John Cena, my favorite part was when John Cena hits Big E with a crossbody outside the ring.
Oh, that was.
You remember that? He just goes flying over the ropes into
Sometimes
Big
I
E.
forget he can fly when he wants to, and with a man that size, it's a little frightening. I imagine if you're the one taking that bump, it's kind of like, oh, thanks, John.
Yep. So Xavier Woods would actually roll up Devon. I don't know about that.
I will say this. Aside from, whether or not I thought, I was okay with the way that the finish went down in terms of who won, it was a distraction finish, yes. It was a distraction finish from part of the tag aspect of the match breaking down. It was a distraction that's part of the match, part of the story. It wasn't just, someone's entrance music flared, and all of a sudden that means they can't
They can't
defeat
move.
a schoolboy roll-up for some reason.
Right.
Even if they've taken no damage, but whatever. I like the fact that they did it, but the way they did it allows it to still be, like, you hate it, but it's heel heat. It's a heel reaction. They screwed these guys. They used a distraction. It's little stuff like that even if you're going to, have, well, let's face it, the problems WWE has now, it makes it more tolerable. It makes it less repetitive, at the very least.
Yeah, and you and I have publicly said that we hate distraction finishes. And I agree with you. This finish actually complemented the whole storyline with the Dudley Boys and the New Day.
But, I'm sensing a but.
No, that was it.
Oh, okay,
The New Day wins. Yay.
And for you, that's the but.
Yeah, that's the bud.
But-
My favorite part, though, was when John Cena and Devon put Xavier Woods over on Bubba Ray Dudley's shoulders. Power bombs his ass into the table. That's always my favorite part. It's just they pick on Woods
Oh, yeah.
through a table. I think that's got to be his fourth or fifth time
Oh, yeah.
at least.
Part of me, I have to admit, I was a little weirdly torn. Like, this little part of me was overwhelmed by the ba through the table, which was the other, like, 90% of my brain. Part of me was like, I don't know, doesn't this make the good guys kind of like sore losers? I mean, it seems a little, you know what, screw it, powerbomb through table, I'm good. That's basically was my entire thought process on it.
Right. It's funny because, you and I don't talk about SmackDown really on our show. On SmackDown this week, Woods was not at SmackDown at all. He was quote unquote injured, which I thought was kind of funny because now you have Kofi Kingston and Big E coming up by themselves. There's no trombone. That's the thing I missed the most about the New Day was that there was no trombone. Yeah, exactly. So
Moment of silence.
exactly. Do you think we'll see Woods at Hell in a Cell saying that.
I don't know. Maybe they'll pull some sort of injury thing. Maybe they'll pull it where he's faking an injury somehow, something along those lines.
Because it seems like at pay-per-views, it seems to be more Big E and Kofi Kingston defend the titles.
Oh, I hate to say it. That's probably because they're the better wrestlers. I mean, don't get me wrong. Xavier Woods he's not bad, but he's not great either.
Xavier Woods, I enjoy your YouTube channel. Have you checked that out yet?
Yes.
Up, down, down.
I love up, down, down.
I love the YouTube games.
Okay, was it Turtles in Time he was playing with Rollins?
Yes.
That was the first one I saw.
All right, so we'll move on to our favorite portion of Monday Night Raw, the Divas match.
See, you spoke some words there before the words Divas match, and they weren't English.
I got your hopes up. Yeah. It's
Totally
funny
my
because
emotions.
Nikki Bella and Alicia Fox versus Naomi and Sasha Banks, finally giving the universe what they want. Sasha Banks in a tag team match.
We've been screaming we want Sasha for weeks.
And we still didn't really get it either. Naomi
Yeah.
was in this match pretty much the entire time.
Yeah, don't remind me.
Yeah, unfortunately, she was getting the crap kicked out of her. Unfortunately, last week I said that, I listen to the podcast. I look at things that we need to do differently and things I need to change and stuff. And I say the phrase, it ended the exact same way you'd expect. This match ended the exact same way you'd expect.
Well, I mean,
Because now this is the 5th time in a row. I looked this up. This is the 5th time in a row that Nikki Bella has won via rack attack.
it is supposed to be her finisher.
I know, but at the same time,
It's a terrible finisher.
it is. Have Alicia Fox pin,
It'd be nice because
Yeah,
then okay, she's basically an NPC, but friggin' heck,
Yeah.
give her something to do.
I mean, I get it. Nikki Bella is going to be facing Charlotte at Hell in a Cell for the title, so you should probably have her be the one pinning Naomi. But the fact that every single time she wins, it's via rack attack, it gets old, And I wish that she would come up with another move other than the rack attack, because after she follows the forearm, the rack attack is coming.
Yeah.
So
It's a problem that a lot of people have said before about just WWE in general. How you go back and you watch a lot of old matches from other promotions or indie stuff or Japanese stuff or stuff like Lucha Underground, and they have their finishers, their signature moves or whatever, like some sort of like Chaos Theory suplex, whatever.
right.
And they'll hit that every once in a while, but they'll have other moves that they can go to that they'll have like as a secondary finisher or a signature move, or maybe they'll get really desperate and bust out some ridiculous, crazy, convoluted maneuver, what have you. In WWE, Cena's not going to win until he hits an attitude adjustment or locks in the STF. Kevin Owens won't win unless he hits a pop-up powerbomb. Before it was the pedigree, you knew Rollins wouldn't win unless it was with a curb stomp or at the very least a buckle bomb. I mean, it's great to have a finisher, but if that's the only way they ever win, and especially if they're winning a lot, it gets tedious. I mean,
Right.
in real fights, like in a real, like say UFC, boxing, whatever, you don't win with they might people like Ronda Rousey. She goes for an armbar every time, but she's won by knockout. She's won with other means.
Right. So you have that secondary move in your arsenal instead of using the same one over and over and over again to the point where it's like, oh, the rack attack. Okay.
I wonder what's going to happen. I mean, yeah, you can argue, but that makes it really a big deal when they kick out of it. You can also still make it a big deal and not saturate it with it.
Right. So Nikki Bella and Alicia Fox defeat Naomi and Sasha Banks via rack attack 1, 2, 3.
Yay.
Next match.
Moving on.
Moving on. The World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins versus Ryback.
At least he didn't lose.
So Shawn Michaels kicks off the second hour of Monday Night Raw,
By emasculating Seth Rollins.
which was gold. I'm sorry.
It was gold, but I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved it. And for some reason, I think it is just because it was Shawn Michaels, honestly.
Right.
Because normally it kind of bugs me. It was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna make this legend look really awesome by basically having him completely destroy and make some current gen roster guy look like a punk. But for some reason, it's just the way he did it, especially that end of "now hit my music." Just, you know what? screw it. I can forgive it this time.
It was really good. Seth Rollins, hit my music. Crickets.
Chirp, 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 chirp. The power of HBK prevents your music from starting.
So Seth Rollins would want to prove to Shawn Michaels that he was, quote unquote, the man. So he faces Ryback.
Why you face Ryback? It's like, I want to prove I'm the man. Okay, who are you going to fight? The Ryback?
Feed
did
me
you
more, man.
watch his Intercontinental title reign? I'm surprised they even count that as a championship reign, dude. But hey, like, at least he won. He did not lose.
Yeah. Seth Rollins
something.
completely dominated this fight. I'm sorry.
Which, I mean, he's the world heavyweight champion. He really, I mean, don't get me wrong, Intercontinental champion, former one anyway. That belt has got a long history, lots of prestigious names attached to it, but at the same time, he's the world heavyweight champion. He's Seth freaking Rollins, to quote the man himself. And also, I don't know, I can't be mad at Ryback losing. I can't imagine why.
We don't know.
I know, it's just one of those great mysteries of life.
Seth Rollins wins by pedigree, 1, 2, 3. My favorite part was when Seth Rollins slammed Ryback into the announce table.
Yeah.
That was it. He rolled him into the ring and hit him with a pedigree. That was it.
It's like, okay, well, he's dead off of the table, pedigree. Well, now he's just super dead. Okay. Double tap, man.
All right. So then, the Nature Boy
Nature Boy. Woo!
would kick off hour number 3.
I'm an old WCW fan. I have to love anything that Ric Flair does, even if it's terrible. I'm not allowed to dislike Ric Flair-related things.
I love just walking around going, woo!
Well, I mean, yeah, if you can walk around and actually hit that strut in the right way and you start wooing, I mean, people will think you're nuts, but you'll feel good about it.
All the wrestling fans will know what you're talking about. Other people will look at you like you're crazy.
Woo, what? Anyway.
Woo, what?
So yeah, he kicks off the third hour.
And that features a 6-man tag team match. Now that we know is the Hell in a Cell pre-show kickoff. You and I were talking about last week the 2/3 of the Wyatt family versus Randy Orton and Dean Ambrose.
Not happening now.
And we'll get to that in a little bit. But right now, Rusev King Barrett
He's still calling him that.
and Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro, and Neville.
I could not have possibly cared less about this match based on who was in it.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Bad WWE.
I
Maybe not
like-
care about a match with Neville in it.
I like Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro, and Neville. But, the fact that Rusev, Barrett, and Sheamus are on the same team, oh, man. Someone kill me now.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's, the Rusev storyline. There's sort of, all right, they're going together. Well, reality intruded, and now we're going to keep bringing it up.
Apparently, they're catching a lot of heat backstage because of it, too.
You
I read
how
an
they-
article yesterday about it, and Lana's catching more heat about it than Rusev. I don't know why.
You know how they could have not caught heat for that? They could have just kept going with the storyline as was intended. It's called fiction.
Yeah, kayfabe is kayfabe for a reason. Don't make it
Like, we don't care. Just tell us a good story. Don't suddenly invert it.
right.
But whatever.
So,
Like,
lots of interference in this match. Ziggler would be laying on the ropes, kind of in like a vintage, almost like Rey Mysterio was going to hit the 619.
yeah, and I think that was about the moment I started being really deeply interested in my phone.
And Sheamus would hit the bro kick from outside the ring to allow. They're calling him the Bloody King for some reason now. I read an article on the WWE.com.
I think that's bloody stupid.
Oh, yeah, so they to allow the Bloody King to pick up pinfall 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I read another article that Wade Barrett wants to be in more tag matches.
Okay.
This isn't the way to do it.
No.
Sorry.
No.
This match was bullcrap.
Honestly, you know who I think he would work with, and it would it would involve going back to his bad news gimmick.
So you're sold out already on me?
And I can think of a couple ways they could definitely not only like have it work, but have the characters like work together, get along.
Okay.
Bad News Barrett, The Miz.
Oh. Actually, that's not a bad idea, because The Miz is...
Because when The Miz wants to be, especially as a heel, that man is on fire sometimes.
Yeah.
He's been in some pretty good matches, and a lot of his good matches have been tag matches. And I think, maybe have something like, Miz gets humbled, brought down to earth, and he's basically like Bad News Barrett's hype man. Or something along those lines.
I like it.
I mean, I'd be down. I have no
as
idea.
long as we get Bad News Barrett back, I'm okay with it.
Well, yeah, okay. It's like, we'll pair Bad News Barrett with a potato. Is he Bad News Barrett? All right, Bad News Barrett, a potato. We're good.
So, speaking of The Miz, and I'll bring this up because, again, we don't really talk about SmackDown.
Yeah, okay. What did the Miz do on SmackDown that I don't care about?
No, Miz didn't do anything.
Oh.
During Miz TV, he had Dolph Ziggler and Summer Rae on the show. And Dolph Ziggler came out. He's that cocky little show off that we all love. And then Summer Rae comes out, and then she's like talking to Dolph, and then Dolph kind of stands up like, whoa, I don't want anything to do with you.
No.
And then Summer Rae says, to be completely honest, I have a new man in my life, and she points at the Titantron. Holy shit, Prince Pretty comes out. Tyler Breeze.
That's how they introduce him?
WWE, NXT, Tyler Breeze. Makes his
That
debut.
is how they...
He's apparently Summer Rae's new man.
Very mixed emotions do I have. Lapsed into some Star Wars there. Very mixed emotions I have.
Oh, man.
Oh, Zach should be here. Oh, no. But, God.
I'm trying to get him on the show, by the way. I'm trying to get him and Joshua on the show.
I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, on the one hand, I love Tyler Breeze. Like he's one. I like to throw around the phrase secretly awesome or secretly one of the best.
Okay.
Where they're just someone that sometimes maybe because of booking or whatever, you kind of forget how good they are, or
Right.
they just kind of lapse into a pattern. You forget how good they are. Tyler Breeze is one of the guys I love to slap that label on him. Randy Orton. So him getting a mainstream push or any kind of mainstream attention, awesome.
Well, see, the fact is that, and I was talking about this with one of our coworkers earlier, is when his music hit, it was kind of like a what's going on moment, not, a huge pop like, oh my God, it's Tyler Breeze. Everybody kind of stood up and kind of looked around like, what's happening? And then when he came out, there wasn't a very big response at all. It was just,
like I said,
okay.
I personally think that's just because NXT does have a pretty sizable roster. I mean, the show only gets about an hour a week, so they can't show that much of it off.
Right.
But there's a lot of guys and women on that roster that just they don't get a lot of attention because they wind up getting pushed further down the card or they don't get used it often. And with the recent influx of all the indie guys, they've now got a lot of their kind of NXT stalwarts kind of pushed to the background a bit. And Tyler Breeze has kind of fallen into that a bit. So I'm not entirely surprised that he didn't get a big pop. I'm a little disappointed, but I'm not surprised.
Right.
But yeah, but then there's the downside of him. It's like, yeah, I love Tyler Breeze. Downside, he's part of this storyline.
Yeah,
So
so
can't have nice things.
it'll be interesting to see if he's going to be on Monday Night Raw this week. Because, the storyline is not really going to make any sense.
I mean, it hasn't, but...
But yeah, we move on to our main event for Monday Night Raw, and there's a whole storyline behind it, and we got kind of breaking news. It was reported on Monday that apparently Randy Orton was injured by the Wyatt family.
Oh, yeah.
And they're kayfabing because he's actually hurt.
Now, I'd heard he was hurt. How did he do it?
Do you really want to know? Because it's really stupid.
Yeah, I gotta know. Come on.
FoxSports.com.
Okay.
That's how bad it is. FoxSports.com is reporting that WWE's Randy Orton dislocated his shoulder while taking out the trash. Oh, man, I got to remember that. Yeah, you are walking out of the studio.
Dude can lift up the big show, but apparently sack of dirty diapers 2 months. That's, I mean, okay, Sami Zayn, wrenched it so bad he needed to have surgery from, doing his, entrance taunt, essentially. But it's just,
Right.
At least that involves, a lot of movement. I mean, okay, he does have the hypermobile shoulders, but really?
Yep.
Wow, I don't know. That's a level of stupid I wasn't actually expecting.
And they really don't know how long he's going to be out.
Does he need surgery? Or?
He's going in for an MRI. I think he went in either Wednesday or yesterday. And details about that MRI haven't been released yet.
Well, I hope he is okay.
We'll have something during our next podcast probably because I'm assuming he's going to be out for a little bit.
Oh yeah. Well, I hope he gets better. I mean, like him or not, he's had a huge career. So.
Yeah, so that ties into our main event because he was going to be with Dean Ambrose and
And then he
Roman
got,
Reigns against
and
the
Wyatts
Wyatt
got
family.
to him. Kayfabe.
So, a twist, really, I enjoyed this twist. Seth Rollins volunteers for the fight. So, I'm calling this main event the Wyatt family versus quote-unquote The Shield.
Yeah. And I did like the way they handled it. Like, Seth was like, no, I don't want to do this. I can do this on my own. This is not the Shield. And, Ambrose and Reigns are kind of like, yeah, you're right. This isn't the Shield. Screw you, buddy.
I really
Loved
want it
it.
to be, though.
Oh, I don't care how they have to do it. I don't care if it's the sappiest, most bromantic thing in the world. Have them kiss and make up, reunite into the Shield. I
easy.
did mean it literally. I mean, hey, that's the way they want to take the storyline. I mean, that's fine. But...
Whatever floats their boat.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
something's
As long as the end result is Shield, Hound of Justice masks. I'm so excited to hit the mic. Hound of Justice mask. Buckle power bombs, dirty deeds, spears.
Right.
Do it.
Yeah, so the Shield, I gotta stop calling them the Shield.
The Shield.
Yeah.
The crack Shield.
This was a very good fight. It was
Oh, yeah.
It was physical. It was just
This was
exciting to watch. It was a good main event for once.
Oh, hell yeah. This was
week on
very
Monday.
enjoyable.
But it ends in disqualification. Which, and to be completely honest, it ended in disqualification because Dean Ambrose brought out the kendo stick. I enjoy the kendo stick with Dean Ambrose.
Oh, yeah.
Because he sells it.
He sells that like it's death.
Yeah, Rollins, before the disqualification, feigned injury and actually left the ring, leaving Ambrose and Reigns by themselves.
Yeah.
Which was sad.
Yeah. My little wrestling heart broke. It's like, no, just make up with them and put people through announce tables with power bombs again.
Right. So, that's pretty much a preview for Hell in a Cell, that
Yeah.
last match. So, that's the end of Monday Night Raw. We're going to take a quick break, come back, and we are going to talk about NXT.
Woo!
Woo! And that is next on the Squared Circle.
You can't kill what's supposed to die. Undertaker has beaten Lesnar.
Now, there's only one place to end it all. Lesnar. Undertaker.
We Hell in a Cell this Sunday, live on WWE Network.
We are back here on the Squared Circle on Spreaker.com, also on iTunes. Why don't we get into NXT, my friend?
Oh,
Started out with Asuka making her NXT start today, making the start to NXT.
versus Billy Kay.
Kay actually started with a very offensive. It started out pretty offensively for her,
Oh, yeah.
and she would pretty much
I
just
mean, like Asuka went to go shake her hand, and then boom, big boot to the face. Just nope.
yeah, it would pretty much be all Billy Kay until she hits Azuka with her forearm. She does the forearm kind of thing, like
yeah.
Nikki Bella does, and then oh god, the creepiest thing ever.
Yeah, that's after that like really stiff looking elbow. That smile, Asuka.
Oh, the smile. Oh, she goes berserk.
Oh yeah.
I love it when that happens. I'm sorry.
That flying arm bar. Good God.
Yes. So she would win by Asuka lock. 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, love that.
I love the Asuka lock. So pretty short match.
I loved that match.
Yeah, it was a short match.
unreasonably loved that match.
It was a short match, but it was a good match. So the next match would be a tag team match: Enzo and Cass versus Dash and Dawson. Dash and Dawson, I didn't know were number one contenders.
Really?
Yep. Dash and Dawson are the number one contenders for the tag team.
Oh, okay. I mean, it could have been, Gable and Jordan, but, God forbid would make me happy. But whatever,
There's a big sign in the back of the NXT locker room that says, "Never make Max happy." Oh, I know sadness.
The worst day of my life. No.
This match also ended very quickly.
It seemed to be for a little bit there. Like from the beginning, I'm like, is that going to be like the running theme? We're just going to have a lot of really short matches tonight. I mean, I mean, I guess I wouldn't mind that. I mean, if you want it every once in a while, but sometimes, I mean, I don't know, throw me a 10-minute bone here or there.
Yeah. So Enzo and Cass pretty much would be annihilated by Dash and Dawson.
Oh, God. They were just destroyed.
Yeah, a merciless beating. After the match, they would just continue to beat the crap out of them.
Nail them with the Shatter Machine, just kill them.
And actually, so your number one contenders are Dash and Dawson.
And they're dead.
Yeah, so I actually found out that Colin Cassidy's actually injured.
Oh, really?
He got injured during that match.
Like, legit?
He's on crutches. He's going to be out several weeks, according to WrestlingInc.com.
Oh, is it back, hip, leg?
They are saying his leg was injured during the match. He's on crutches, going to be out several weeks, and that's, again, according to WrestlingInc.com.
I hate to say it, but if it has to be anything that would take him out for a while, I hope it's like a fracture or a break.
Yeah, because
that
that's
have the least impact on his overall
right.
career.
That's easy to come back. Of course, it's something that you never want to happen. But,
oh God, no.
It's easier to come back from than, say, a concussion.
Yeah, or a severely torn muscle.
Right, or the broken spine.
Or a blown out knee or something.
Right.
Like that. I mean,
the next segment, oh my God.
Are we going to talk about the Ava Marie segment? Or
I
is this
am talking about the Ava Marie
is this
segment.
the Ava Marie segment, or is this going to be,
we'll get
Prince Pretty calling out Joe and all that? No, this is the Ava Marie segment.
This is the Ava Marie segment.
Ava Marie in gay Paris.
In Paris. She's on vacation. She wants to let everyone know that she misses us.
You could stay in Paris.
I actually have that written down. She can stay in Paris. Quote, that's verbatim on my talking notes for today.
Great minds think alike.
And then she ended the video, the whole thing with blowing a kiss at us.
How do you make... It's like, I don't get it. She makes blowing a kiss seem like the most awkward and unnatural. It's like someone programmed a robot, like the motions of how to kiss, but like not any... Just... At this point, I'm convinced she's an alien pod person.
This segment was pretty much designed to bring out the inner 12-year-old in every single fan. It turned everyone off. I'm sorry, but as soon as I saw Ava Marie, I'm in Patty. I miss you all so much. I'll be back soon. Stay in Paris.
Please, dear God, I don't care what your orientation is. I think that made some people asexual.
Oh, man.
Either that or her voice was going to put me to sleep. I swear that
she's boring.
Yeah, like people can say, oh, like like the dialogue itself is just so terrible and she sounds so awkward. I don't even notice most of the time because she's putting me to sleep. She's better than than NyQuil.
She's monotone. She monotones everything on her promos. And I swear to God, if they start pushing Ava Marie...
They keep talking about, she's making little improvements in the ring. All right, let's say at one point she gets to be a decent wrestler or a good wrestler. Well, let's just say. If she still can't talk, give her like the female equivalent of Paul Heyman or something.
Yeah,
give her someone to talk for her then. Hell, do that now and you'd probably turn the nuclear, inverse heat down a little.
Right. So the next match, Danny Burch comes out to the ring. No music. I mean, standard kind of, no things happen. And then some music hit that I'd never heard before, and I completely forgot about who was coming out.
And then...
the Cowboy comes out.
Sorry about your damn luck.
Oh, James Storm.
One of the few things I've ever enjoyed from TNA. And I admit, there was a period of time I liked TNA. That period was about 2004 to 2008. That was actually... Trust me, there was definitely some misses there. Good Lord, were there misses.
Yep.
But there were more than enough hits. I mean, that was when Joe was big there. But James Storm, Beer Money... Love the Cowboy. Seeing him in NXT, I couldn't even focus on how much I love James Storm as a wrestler because it was just so surreal. It was bizarre. It was kind of like the first time I saw Sting in WWE. It was really that, I know this should be cool, but the last WCW dude is here. This is like the TNA guy in not just WWE, but the thing that everybody kind of loves about WWE. It's just...
It was
just like finding a unicorn.
Right. It was a really good moment, and everyone went nuts, because of course, this was taped 2 weeks ago, so the crowd doesn't know it, like, in WWE. Yeah, I read up on rumors and stuff and things that are going to happen.
I wonder who's going to be coming out to the strange entrance. Oh
Right, and the crowd loses their mind when he comes out.
Oh.
Oh, so he would win with an 8-second ride. I love this move now.
Oh man, I wonder if he does stick around for longer, how much of his character, how many of his like catchphrases, how many of his moveset is he going to be allowed to use? I just one time, all I want to hear is and it won't be Jeremy Borash screaming it like he's about to die or something, but I just want to hear last call, super kick, just one time.
Right.
And sorry about your damn luck. He's got to cut a sorry about your damn luck promo once.
I'm sure he will for the next few episodes.
They probably won't let him drink anymore, though. I mean,
maybe. Well, we'll see. I mean,
then at that point, all I need is a Stone Cold Steve Austin Cowboy James Storm drinking contest on
There
Monday Night
you
Raw,
go.
and my wrestling life will be complete.
so my question for you is NXT the place to be over the over WWE's main roster? Yes or no?
Honestly, God, yeah. Just the writing's better, the stories are better, the characters are better. The characters actually have character development.
Right.
You can actually think about this stuff in a more complicated way. And then on top of that, when it's silly, it's funny as hell. When it's dramatic, it's tense. The matches are excellent. I mean, the only other promotions I really watch anywhere near as religiously are Lucha Underground and New Japan Pro. Other than that...
Speaking of which, they might be coming to the network. They might be showing some New Japan wrestling matches. It's a rumor, but the head of you just made the fist pump.
Oh, that's
The makers of
the best
New
news.
Japan Wrestling said they've been in talks with WWE about that. Might be a smart move. I don't know.
I'd be okay with that. I would also be okay with, like, one day, like Seth Rollins out there talking about how he's the man, and then, like Okada or whoever's the current IWGP champion just comes out there and just wrecks him. And then they just proceed to have just this barn burner of a match, world champ versus world champ. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. So, like I said, you and I were talking about this last week, too, regarding character development and stuff. There was the promo last week with Bayley and Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
And even that whole 5-minute segment was more interesting than anything that had occurred on Monday Night Raw the last week.
Oh, God, yeah.
So,
The characters felt like they were much more dynamic. Like, they actually felt like they were doing things.
right. So, and then after that, there was, it wasn't a match. It wasn't anything live. It was a interview with Apollo Crews. And it was like a look into his life. And honestly, that 4-minute video with Apollo Crews regarding,
Kind of like the most he's gotten so far.
right, and where he came from, his childhood, his rough childhood, the family situation he came from. He was poor, he had success with Evolve and stuff. This was a great video package because it showcased Apollo Crews not as just a wrestler, but as the person he's become.
Oh, yeah. And they did the same kind of great work for, Finn Balor, Bayley, Sasha. I mean, they've done this kind of video package for other wrestlers, and they, I've always said that mainstream WWE, they've always had a talent for making anything look good. Any, like the hype package they play before a match can make just about any garbage story seem great, and any great storyline seem like the best thing ever.
Right.
NXT has this thing of backing that up. Like, they'll show you all these things with these characters. They'll tell you all about, Finn Balor and, where he came from. They'll do the same thing with Becky Lynch, and then they'll run with it. They'll build off of it. So you can get attached to them, and then they can go out and do the crazy, ridiculous stuff like summoning the demon and, Becky Lynch's steampunk entrance and all that.
Right. So, I've said that too, is, the thing about NXT is they are much better writers than they are over at Monday Night Raw.
Well, I wouldn't take much, but
You can
Hate
get
to say it,
you can get a
but-
couple monkeys, and they'd be a lot better over the last few weeks. Yeah. But, moving on, are we starting to see a push with Alexa Bliss?
I think we've been seeing that for a while, honestly.
Have we?
I would honestly argue that this whole thing with her and the what are their names?
Blake and Murphy.
Thank you. I can never remember their name. I honestly think that out of this whole, like, the whole thing with Blake and Murphy, I think that was the start of her push, personally.
Maybe I was just completely blind to it because I'm a huge Bailey fan.
Oh, no, it's not. I honestly did. This was something I've actually been thinking about, like, just when I was watching NXT on Wednesday. I was just thinking, maybe, and I started kind of looking. It was like a retroactive thing, like hindsight. And it's like, maybe that does kind of seem like that could have been the start of it. Like, maybe that was at the very least the testing ground.
Yeah, so she would go up against Peyton Royce, and is she anyone important? Because she has her own entrance.
She has her own entrance.
She
Her
seems
name
like a
is
jobber to
so
me.
familiar, though.
She seems like a jobber to me.
I want to say she's got some like connection. Wow, I can't talk. Connection to either Shimmer or Shine, which are two all female promotions. I want to say
Right.
there's a connection there.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'd actually have to look her up.
Okay, she's pretty good. It was
Oh,
a
yeah.
well-balanced match, the entire match, really.
Oh yeah.
And it was one of those matches where there's not one side that's completely dominant over another
Yeah.
the entire time, and then the dominance shifts to the other person for 5 minutes.
Yeah, they didn't do the wishy-washy thing. They made it seem like an actual back and forth, which
Right.
is kind of actually oddly rare in WWE sometimes, even in NXT.
Yeah, so Bliss would win by the Sparkle Splash.
I don't know why. Sometimes alliteration just bugs me. And for some reason, Sparkle Splash just makes me want to put my fist through a wall.
I don't know. I like the name of the move. I don't know why. It's just Sparkle Splash.
I could bust out a certain Russian nickname.
Do I want to know?
It was a name used on Monday Night Raw.
Did I miss it?
Maybe it involves Rusev.
Oh, I swear to God, this will be the third time in a row if you use it on this program.
I didn't say anything.
Okay, good point.
Anyway, but this was a decent match, I thought.
It was a pretty good match, and it was not short by any
No.
means.
Yeah, this was like the first kind of moderate length match on the show.
right. They had a time. I think they took a break in the middle of the match too,
Yeah.
and
They had I still find it really weird that they throw commercial breaks for their own content on shows on their network.
yeah, well,
Gotta fill that time somehow.
exactly. So, do we see a title match soon, or do they wait until NXT Takeover UK?
I think they wait until UK.
Okay.
I think WWE always manages to pick up on stuff. With mainstream, they usually pick up on it a little bit, a little behind the 8 ball. It's like, hey, everyone else already realized this was popular. NXT tends to be able to catch on to things pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've realized that, okay, especially thanks to Bayley and Sasha in the last couple weeks, that we've really turned this women's division into something that people care about and want to see.
Right.
We don't want to keep shotgunning it. We don't want to keep throwing everything at it.
Right.
They want to take that time to build it up. Even if there's essentially no storyline beyond Alexa Bliss as a heel, she's a jerk, Bayley's a nice person, jerk wants the belt, rog match. Even if there's just that, if they build that up right, I mean, some of the most iconic feuds of all time in wrestling are built up just on that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think they're going to want to take their time. So I think they would. I don't think that not only that they'll do that, I think that's what's best.
Okay. NXT TakeOver London, now scheduled December 16th. Happy birthday to me.
Oh,
Yeah,
lucky
December
you, buddy.
16th, 2015, London, England at the SSE Arena.
Nice little present for you.
Oh, happy birthday to me. So, we're not going to take a break, but we are going to move on. We are going to make our Hell in a Cell predictions.
Hell in a Cell.
Wow, that was actually kind of scary. All right, so we'll start with the one that's top on the card. The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. The first of 2 Hell in a Cell matches.
Now, how do we want to do this? Do we want to do what we think is going to happen, or what we think is what we want to happen?
Let's go with what we think is going to happen based on storylines, and then we'll think what's going to happen, and then make your final prediction. We'll call it, and we'll keep counting. We'll be back on Monday night for a special Hell in a Cell show after Monday Night Raw.
All right, for this one, I'm pinning Taker down as losing. I'm thinking Lesnar's going to take it, and I think that since they're really running with that whole Lesnar's the heel again, I think they're going to have him like maybe just he hits the F5 or whatever, 1, 2, 3, his music hits, and then he just starts picking up the Undertaker and F5ing him over and over, just killing the dead man,
Okay.
kind of just ending it.
See, and I think it's going to be the exact opposite. I think Undertaker will win this fight.
Okay.
You've got him losing at WrestleMania 30, losing his streak, and then winning at SummerSlam, but he wins in a way that doesn't really fit the Undertaker persona.
Mm-hmm.
I think that... Has Brock Lesnar actually lost cleanly?
Oh.
I can't remember.
You could argue
You
back
could-
in 2012 in his Extreme Rules match with Cena. You could argue, I mean, yeah, it's Extreme Rules, hardcore, anything goes, so technically everything would be a clean finish.
Right. But, like a standard match, well, this isn't really standard. It's a Hell in a Cell, no disqualification match.
But I think
could you argue...
Since he returned in 2012, I want to say he's lost at least one or two clean.
Okay.
But that's it.
You could argue WrestleMania he lost, but that wasn't really a pin on him.
Yeah.
Um,
Whenever they do that, they always go, oh, he didn't lose, but he didn't win either.
Yeah, so I think that Undertaker will hand Brock Lesnar a clean loss,
Okay.
but I think that will happen afterwards, what you said. Brock Lesnar will then enrage.
Kill the dead man.
And, yeah, it'll be after the fact.
Okay.
So,
I can see that being pretty viable, too.
yeah, so... I really don't want to make a prediction for this match because it's the kickoff match, but what the hell, why not? Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro, and Neville versus Rusev. I'm refusing to call him King Barrett, so we're just going to go with Barrett and Mr. Money in the Bank, Sheamus.
Okay. My prediction is that the faces win, but the audience loses. That is my prediction.
No, I think the heels are going to win again. And they're going to win by some cheating.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, shenanigans. Same way it ended on Monday Night Raw. And unfortunately, with a kickoff match, that's usually how it is. It's already happened, and you can see it coming. So, all right.
I make no promises that I'll be watching that.
No, I probably won't. And I'll probably do it just because I'll have nothing else to do. Actually, I'll be working, so I probably won't be able to catch it.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go. So, all right, World Heavyweight Championship match. Mr. Seth Rollins versus Demon Kane. Under the stipulation that if Demon Kane loses, Mr. Corporate Kane is out of a job.
What I personally, what I think they're going to do is the exact thing I don't want them to do. And I think Kane's going to win, and then Sheamus successfully cashes in. I don't even know.
See,
I don't even
and I
have
think
predictions for how he would win. Just he wins, tombstones him, whatever.
And
1, 2, 3. He starts celebrating, and then Sheamus, and yeah.
See, and unfortunately, I have to agree with you on this one. I think this is the pay-per-view that Mr. Money in the Bank cashes in. It's not that the storyline fits. It's just that you really don't have any opportunities going forward for him, really to do it. And with Cena being gone 2 months, something big needs to happen to keep the ratings up.
Yeah. And on top of that, I think Seth Rollins is in desperate need of some character work.
He needs a face turn.
Yeah,
I agree.
He needs anything. Even if you want to keep him a heel, he needs something done with his character. And I think right now, him stuck where he is, there are ways you could do stuff with him. There's plenty of ways you could, but nothing. I hate to say it, you kind of need something fast. You need something that's going to be big and quick because you need something that's going to get people's attention, do what you need to do with him, and get ratings back up at least a little bit. And I think doing something like that, it's big, it's drastic.
It's something needs to change with Seth Rollins' character. I agree.
But the problem is then you wind up Sheamus or Kane. Either way, they have the belt, and it's just, oh, joy.
Well, and it sounds like they're going to be pushing Kane. I've read some articles that they may be pushing Demon Kane again. So maybe we don't see.
I don't know.
Well, all right, next match, Divas match. Charlotte versus Nikki Bella.
I do honestly predict Charlotte winning, honestly.
Yeah, this one's easy. Charlotte is going to be Divas champion for a while.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you that right now.
Oh,
the character fits
too well. Character fits way too well.
The character fits, and the storyline fits. I get it. Nikki Bella is now the longest reigning Divas champion in WWE history. Great. Don't make her champion again for a long time.
Yeah.
Because if that happens and Charlotte's holding on to the belt only a month, oh boy, that'll be a sad day.
Oh, yeah. And honestly, storyline-wise, in kayfabe, she's got nothing to prove. even if she loses the match, does not reclaim the Divas title, she's got the longest reigning Divas title reign of all of them. She's got nothing to prove at that point.
Right. So you and I both,
Yeah.
Charlotte retains.
That being said, I mean, if it doesn't go down with Charlotte, retaining the belt, then I don't know. I think you can black out from being that angry. I'm pretty sure you can. I don't know what'll be left of my house, but
It'll be on fire.
along with my hopes and dreams.
Yeah. All right. The next match, the tag team match. The Dudley Boys, 9-time WWE Tag Team Champions versus the 2-day WWE Tag Team Champions, the New Day.
Honestly, as much as I love the New Day, I think what's going to happen is what needs to happen. The Dudleys pick it up.
I think the third time is a charm.
Yeah.
I think they pick up the 10th.
Get that feel-good win in.
Right. And I'm actually a little shocked that this match was not made a no disqualification match.
Oh, yeah.
Because the last 2 times that they have faced each other, it's ended in a disqualification. And if that happens again,
I will scream.
oh my God, I will lose it on this program on Monday.
I mean, I love the New Day, but no. It's not even I want them, I will admit, I'll be a little bit, New Day don't have the belts anymore. But at the same time, nice feel-good victory. Solid conclusion to, a feud that had been ongoing. You get the Dudleys, getting that 10 spot in their record books. I mean, it'll be good all around.
Right. Whatever happens, unless it's a disqualification, I'll enjoy if the New Day retains cleanly.
That would actually be really surprising. Too.
Yeah, that'll be the last thing I think will happen. But if it happens, I'll throw my hands in the air and say, okay, if they can take down the Dudley Boys cleanly, they deserve it.
Yeah.
So,
and at the very least, you could say it was unexpected.
right, and that's maybe something that needs to happen somewhere at Hell in a Cell. Because it's starting to get to the point where you can...
See the writing on the wall for everything.
Right. So, the last Hell in a Cell match, Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt. This is
the one where what I want and what I think is going to happen go in two different directions.
What do you want to happen during this match?
Well, okay, I can do this. The basic the basic description of what I want to have happen is that Bray Wyatt wins. Just simple. The more lengthy explanation is, and I'm not saying this as a joke, I legitimately mean this. I honestly think that, as in terms of his career trajectory and in terms of his character, that Roman Reigns could deal with this. I think Bray Wyatt would need to absolutely destroy him. Just take him to hell and win. Because Roman at this point, he's got a somewhat established character. He's got essentially a guaranteed future in the company. He's got his fans. He has some detractors left. Him eating a big loss, especially to a guy that, a lot of internet fans and smart marks really would, polish him up in their eyes a bit. Bray Wyatt is... Even more so than Rollins, does he need a lot of character rehabilitation. And I think destroying essentially they might call Seth Rollins the architect, but since, Roman Reigns still has the Shield's theme music for crying out loud, essentially beating the heart of the Shield, basically, destroys their top rivals in the most violent match type in WWE. He just brought in Braun Strowman, Eric Rowan is back. I think it's... What I want to have happen is for it to be the Wyatt's time. What I think is going to happen is that it's going to be a damn good match that Roman winds up winning.
Yeah, I won't argue that this is going to be a really good match. Oh. Now, with the whole thing with Randy Orton being injured, the Wyatt family, the other 2/3, no longer have a match. Do we see them get involved in the Hell in a Cell match? Yes or no? Because we've seen it happen where a member of the Wyatt family over the last couple of years has gotten involved in a Hell in a Cell match. They mysteriously pop out of nowhere when the lights go out. Does it happen? I mean,
I think that, like I said, not only do I think that Roman's going to win, I'm that's a guarantee. That's my lock. If Roman loses, I'll be shocked. But if they're going to have Roman lose, for some reason they just have this innate fear of making Bray look any kind of strong. Anytime he wins, it's almost always because he got help from the other members of the family, which I get what you're doing there, but he's got to be strong in his own right. I think that if Roman eats a loss, it's because the Wyatts interfere.
Okay.
I could see it, but...
It's not that I want that to happen. It's just I can see where they might interject the Braun Strowman and I guess Eric Rowan is going to be taking place
Yeah.
of Luke Harper. Apparently, he's under some punishment from WWE. I wasn't really
I'm kind of
understanding.
wondering if it has anything to do. There was this photo that Chris Jericho put up on his official Twitter.
That was it.
with the team Harper shirts. He took it down, but it's the internet. It was on the internet for longer than 3 seconds. It's on the internet forever. So maybe it's that. If that's it,
I had read
dumbest.
I had
reason.
read preliminary reports that that's what it was.
That is the dumbest thing.
Yeah, so
But
Eric Rowan's going to be the man for now, I guess.
now I will say this: if they have the other Wyatts interfere and Bray wins, but their interference is not part of the finish, like it happens, like say it's a 25-minute match, happens 17 minutes in, so a little bit more than halfway through. Fine, that's okay, because then you still got a whole rest of the match to go. They're not part of the finish. The finish itself can still be clean. You just added that wrinkle, that element of their characters and story to the match. That will be fine. What I'm saying is that if Roman loses, it's because they interfered in the finish, which is where my problem comes in.
Okay. I think that Bray Wyatt is going to win this fight. I do. It's not that I don't like Roman Reigns. I love Roman Reigns. I'm sorry. The crowd can disagree with me all they want. Roman Reigns, at Royal Rumble, he was pushed way too quickly. And I think his loss at WrestleMania drove his character down to a level where fans actually wanted him.
His loss or his trip to Suplex City?
Both.
Okay.
his trip to Suplex City and his actual loss to Seth Rollins, I think, brought Roman Reigns down to a level where the crowd can actually start appreciating him again.
Oh, yeah.
And then they started bringing him up at a level that was better.
Yeah.
And I
mean,
think it all started at Money in the Bank, where fans actually started getting into this whole Roman Reigns thing.
Now, don't get me wrong, they really need to shorten up his promos. Like, if you give him something quick, short, and just kind of give him an outline, maybe just kind of let him just go, just sound like a badass. Look at you, man. You are one. Just go out there and sound like one. Here's roughly what we want you to say. They've done that with him before, and you can do pretty dang good work. You can do great work. You start having him speak in like 2 or 3 or more complete sentences and suffer and succotash, son. I mean, we're not at that level right now, but it's kind of boring.
Right. So yeah, I think, like I said, Bray Wyatt's going to win this fight, but it's going to be a damn good match.
Oh yeah.
That
You're gonna
nobody
walk
can
away
argue.
satisfied.
Right, you're going to walk away with your money's worth from this fight. So, all right, the last match, I guarantee it's not going to be the last match on the card, but it's something that I wanted to leave towards the end because of how many variables it has.
Oh my god.
The John Cena United States Open Challenge at Hell in a Cell. Oh boy, it's hard to predict this one. Well, not really. You can predict the ending. 95% chance that it will end in a John Cena loss.
Yeah. I think that's it's. I don't think it's a 100% lock guarantee.
Right.
I mean, at this point, I don't even know if behind the scenes, like, because WWE's done a lot of last minute decision making. Like, they'll set up like a couple options and like, okay, last minute, this is one we're going with. So, I mean, I don't even know if it would be 100% lock behind the scenes. But for me, I definitely put whoever he faces, he's losing, and he's losing the title.
Right.
If they have to cheat, if they go over clean, he's not walking out with that belt.
Who do you think it's going to be? This one's really hard to predict who it's actually going to be.
I mean,
but it's something that we should talk about because, and I love this aspect of the whole open challenge. Is
no
that
idea where it's
you have no idea who's going to come out from behind the Titantron. Who do you think it's going to be?
Oh, man.
Tell you what, give me your top 5.
Top 5.
Top 5 prospects of who it could be.
Like, who I think is most likely.
Yeah, number 5.
Neville.
That would be a pretty good fight. Does he deserve a title push? Is my only question to you. Because he's already in the pre-show matchup.
I think honestly, he would be ready for the title push, especially since, I mean, yeah, John Cena's done a lot to rehabilitate the U.S. title and all that, but I think there is still a certain amount of U.S., then Intercontinental, then World to it.
Right.
So it's not quite hitting, the upper portion of the mid card. So I think he'd be suitable for it. I think even with him being him being in the pre-show makes it way less likely. That's why I definitely put him at 5.
Mm-hmm.
But I put him on there because there have been other guys that have worked double duty. So
All right, number 4.
Number 4. Again, I'll go with one that I think is a little bit less likely, but I'm dead to. I think they might. I could see him trying for a double champion with Kevin Owens. Because having the double mid card, I mean, they've done like Intercontinental, World, US, never the 2 middle card ones.
That would be an interesting matchup, especially since Owens and Cena fought at, what was it, Battleground? I believe was their first pay-per-view. Yeah, and that's where Owens defeated Cena. Yeah,
so that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I would say that would be a pretty good match if it happens. It may not happen
Again,
because
those first 2 are definitely lower likeliness. I would
crap. Yeah, and we have to get to one more. I forgot about the Intercontinental Championship.
Oh, oops,
Whoopsie-daisy. So number 3.
Number 3. I'm thinking Ambrose.
See, that would make sense because you and I were talking about this a couple weeks ago on the second episode, that it was reported that Dean Ambrose was going to get a push in Cena's absence. Make him a 2-time United States champion. That would make sense.
Yeah, and have him be, like he's supposed to be nuts. You could even just have him go, I'm just crazy enough to keep this open challenge thing going.
And it's been reported that not necessarily Ambrose, but somebody in that circle could be making a heel turn. Yes, I've heard that Dolph Ziggler is going to be making one soon. Dean Ambrose could as well. Yeah. And I could see why he would come out for the United States title. And, that would make sense. Because I think we've seen him once before.
Yeah.
On the Open Challenge. So
I think so.
Number 2.
Number 2. Let's see, I got like the number 1 to number 2. I just got to pick which order.
Mm-hmm. The top 2 likeliest?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Number 2, I think. Oh, dang.
Johnny on the spot.
I know. I think I can think of. I know who I would put for number 1, but now I'm just like stuck for this one. It's weird.
Yeah.
Oh man. Honestly, I think this could work, and I think it would especially work if the other match that they'd be involved with would be on first, especially if they eat the loss. A member of the New Day. Like, especially if they wind up eating a loss to the Dudleys and dropping the titles. And then they wind up just like,
Kofi?
Um,
Woods even? Because I know we've seen Big E.
I think, they might want to use, honestly, I could see them doing any one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, that's why I'm just saying a member of the New Day instead of picking one.
I guess.
I think most likely would probably be Kofi just because hasn't he held the U.S. title before? I know he's held the Intercontinental.
Right. I don't know. I don't know if he's held the United States title.
But the one I would personally want is Big E. I personally think Big E Langston's been is the best one out of them in terms of wrestling ability, and I kind of like him the most in terms of his his character and being entertaining with the New Day.
Right.
But I think Kofi be the most likely one.
Okay. What is your number 1 prospect?
Number 1 straight up.
Number 1 straight up.
Number 1 straight up with a bullet is Cesaro.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Dolph Ziggler doesn't make your top 5?
I'm dead serious. Cesaro.
Whew.
I'm playing a little risky.
Okay, what? No, tell me about this. Cesaro.
Aside from Vince, because people there's been all the rumors saying Vince has never been all that he's not a good promo, whatever. I honestly think apparently I've just heard a lot that he's got a lot of backstage, not heat, but just a lot of backstage support.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that coupled with the fact there is that Cesaro section, and there is a lot of those mainstream fans, I think, honestly, they might be thinking that it's not so much there's a risk, it's a gamble, but I think they might be willing to take it.
Okay.
And Cesaro they don't have to do that much. Cena was basically, and he was the work. He was everything for the Open Challenge.
Right.
Cesaro doesn't have a lot to him in terms of, his overall persona or anything, but he clicks. He just works. They wouldn't have to do that much. They wouldn't have to add that much. They could probably, John Cena's putting the title on the line. Butts in seats. Cesaro is going to wrestle a person, butts in seats.
Okay.
I think that I think they might be willing to take the risk.
Okay.
Also, I will freely admit personal bias. I just really, 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 really love Cesaro.
Cesaro is a very good wrestler, and I've grown to appreciate him ever since he left the Real Americans.
Oh yeah.
So, I agree with you. Now, going back, Kofi Kingston's a 3-time United States champion.
Oh, okay.
2009, 2011, and again in 2013. Yeah, so I'll give you my top 3, and you and I are going to differ a lot on this.
Shoot.
Number 3 is one that could make sense if the storyline actually fits.
Hit me.
Maybe it's something that I want to happen. Maybe I'll go with this as number 4.
Okay.
Daniel Bryan.
I would cry. So many happy
You've
tears.
got John Cena leaving for 2 months, arguably, and he is the face of the WWE. You need something that's going to put butts in seats. If you've got Daniel Bryan as a champion, and he's coming back, and, it's not reported that, he's going to. This is just something that I really want to happen.
Oh, God.
But, it's something that if you bring back Daniel Bryan, I get it. Maybe it's just kayfabe that the doctors won't clear him. Is it actually true that the doctors won't clear Daniel Bryan?
That one I don't know. All I know is, the only thing I know for certain is he has been saying he can return in 2016. He should be good to go by then.
Okay.
That's him, though, and he might know his body pretty well.
And if that is truly kayfabe, and that was announced before this whole thing with John Cena, it would make sense to have Daniel Bryan, if it is indeed just kayfabe and not actually legitimately they won't clear him.
Oh, yeah, and that place would explode.
Oh my God! First of all, we pretty much know who would win, but the place would just go nuts.
I mean, dear God, he comes out at that point. It's like, oh well, we're gonna have John Cena still win. He wins. People would. I think if Cena wins, we riot signs. Like, I think they would be pretty legit. Then it's like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah. So, number 3, and you and I are gonna argue about this.
All right.
Rusev.
No. No, not again.
Yeah.
I can't do that again.
The storyline, Rusev doesn't have a viable storyline right now. I'm sorry. Ever since the whole thing with Summer Rae and Lana disintegrated, he needs to have a storyline. And that's number 3 because Daniel Bryan is up in the air.
Yeah.
It would have been number 4 if Daniel Bryan was truly kayfabe. Daniel Bryan would have been number 1 on my list.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2, Cesaro. I will agree with you on this one. Cesaro would make a viable United States champion.
I'd be happy.
Right. His character is good. His character is really good, actually. And ever since Tyson Kidd was injured, it's not that he doesn't have a storyline. He's kind of in limbo right now.
It's not that he doesn't have a storyline, it's that they haven't given him one.
Right. So I think number 2, Cesaro would become the 2-time United States champion. Number 1,
Zigzag himself?
Zigzag himself. I'm sorry, the storyline fits the best.
Oh yeah.
You've got reports that Dolph Ziggler is going to be turning heel in the next few soon.
Yeah.
Is what they're saying. It would make sense because you got to have somebody viable and good at the United States title while Cena's away.
Yeah, especially to come off of the U.S. Open Challenge title reign.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see who actually comes out, as opposed to which of one of us is right.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I'll admit, if Ziggler picks up the win, I'd be fine with that. I'd be okay. I'd be happy with it. That'd be great, especially if they do actually go in the direction you're talking about. Like I said, I admitted to the bias. I think I'd be pretty happy with Cesaro.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be the happiest, but I think I'd walk away with a smile on my face.
Okay. One last match. I forgot about it. I'm sorry. Please don't kill me. Intercontinental title, Kevin Owens versus the Ryback.
Kevin Owens.
Yeah, this one's a lock.
No.
If Ryback wins back the title, you'd be killing any momentum that title has for a long time.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens,
you'd wind up hurting his momentum because a lot of people would be like, well, WWE's done with him.
I will tell you this. In the next year, Kevin Owens will be world champion.
If you're right about that, I'll be so happy.
Yeah?
It's like that. I mean, I've gone back. I've watched some of his ROH world title matches, some of like his title matches, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. If I actually heard, your winner and new World Heavyweight Champion Kevin Owens, I'd be off my seat.
I think in years' time, he will be right up there with, I dare even say Seth Rollins will still be up there. Roman Reigns will be up there. Dean Ambrose will be up there.
Now, for me personally, the NXT fan that I am, the Kevin Owens and Kevin Steen and the Sami Zayn fan. If I saw, it's like, it doesn't even have to be Mania. If I got a WWE World Title match, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, well, I mean, anyone who's ever watched Ring of Honor would just be glued to that screen. Me personally, just for Sami Zayn alone, I'd be like, well, there we go. You have sold this.
And I've read a couple articles that we could see Sami Zayn at WrestleMania next year. And the reason would be he wins the Rumble. I've read articles of where that may happen, or, that would make sense. I don't know. I think that would be a way too early push for Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn needs to come back to NXT first.
Yeah. I hate to say it. I think Kevin Owens played a bit of catch up with him getting to NXT. That was part of their story. I think him taking Sami Zayn out, it like pre-builds in that Sami Zayn now needs to catch up.
Right.
And I mean, but I don't mind taking the way because like the way you love Bayley, that's how I am with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is my boy.
I gotta get one of those snap wristbands with Bayley's sting on it.
I want to get the Sami Zayn and the Insaniacs shirt. Like, I need that shirt in my life so much.
So yeah, that is going to do it for the Squared Circle. We are going to be back on Monday night. We are going to have we're going to have our special Hell in a Cell recap, Monday Night Raw recap, because, we don't want to wait 4 days after a pay-per-view to talk about it.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, so then, we'll take a week off after that, and then we'll get right back on schedule. So until then, until Monday night, we are going to say goodbye. We will see you on Monday night on the Squared Circle on Spreaker.com and iTunes. Good night.